Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with BitchFest 2025, where I get to vent and express my ire and complain relentlessly, which is something that classical music people do extremely well. We have learned, we've been programmed and primed to feel beset and oppressed and simply dissed by everybody and everything to do with this business, and particularly the record labels, that fabulous object of derision. And I plan to deride them relentlessly in this particular episode of the BitchFest series. Here's my question. Let's just get right to it. Why do they make it so damn difficult for us to purchase their products? It's as if they don't want us to have it, that they object to the fact that we ask for it, that we have to beg them to try and make it easy for us. And it doesn't matter whether it's physical product or streaming. I talk about physical product mostly, but streaming is a whole nother area of dysfunctionality, which we can maybe deal with soon. I'm sure we'll be having streaming bitchfests. So this is a streaming bitchfest, isn't it? But you know what I mean about product and what's happening on streaming services. We've talked about it, tangentially, but I'm talking about manufacturing and selling something that you can put your paws on. And you can't say that, everything's moving to streaming. Well, it is, but gradually and in a haphazard way, because vinyl was big. Vinyl still is big. Apparently, CDs are now doing better than vinyl again, because all the people who went for vinyl are realizing it wears out and it gets noisy and it's expensive. Why not just have a little CD and never worry about it, at least for most of your lifetime? Anyway, we're not going to have that argument, but I'm just pointing out, physical product is not going away. Its demise has been predicted endlessly, and it hasn't demised. So let me give you an example of difficulty and the kind of thing I'm talking about. Every so often, the major labels get it right. They issue a product, and they do it nicely, and it ought to stay in print. Then they immediately delete it. And so we have to go searching for it. But the evidence is so clear about what they're doing wrong. And here it is. Here's the case in point. Horowitz. Now, this cube contains his complete Masterworks recordings from 1962 to 1973. And wonderful they are, and it was 13 CDs. It's a reasonable number of discs for a serious collector. They simply took the individual releases. You see, they have them all packaged appropriately, and complete Masterworks recordings volume 2. They have them all in volumes, and they put the volumes in a box. Now, some of these individual volumes are still around. The box is gone. It's absolutely gone. Now, most people who are looking for the individual volumes would want the box. Ideally, they would have the individual volumes out for people who need to fill in their collections, and the box for people who want to go whole hog and get the whole thing. Most people agree that Vladimir Horowitz his Columbia recordings represent the best of him in stereo, his stereo things. They really do. You get, let's just look and see here, okay? Most of these things are recitals and whatnot, but there are some other amazing things as well. So I have this pile here. Let's look. First we have, let's see, the studio recordings, 1962 and 63. And that's music by Chopin, including the Second Piano Sonata, Rachmaninoff, which is always special with Horowitz, Schumann, the Kinderscene, the Toccata, which is amazing, Liszt, Scarlatti, Beethoven's Pathetique Sonata, Schubert Impromptu, some Chopin stuff, other Chopin stuff, 3 Debussy preludes, and Scriabin, which is also always fun. So that's incredibly desirable. Then we've got Volume 2 is all Scarlatti. Horowitz's Scarlatti is sui generis, superb, iconic, and everyone in the universe should own it. And it should never be out of print, ever, 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 ever. And it may not be. I mean, it may be available separately still. Then we've got, what's this thing? The Historic Return, the Carnegie Hall 65 and 66 concerts. Well, I mean, you know, what is there to say? These were the concerts where he and his wife were buying coffee for the people standing in line for tickets. I mean, you know, come on. Then we've got the legendary 1968 TV concert in sound, which is, you know, TV-ish, but it's legendary. The Baroque and Classical Recital, Bach, Scarlatti, Haydn, Clementi, and Beethoven. He was a wonderful, wonderful pianist in this repertoire. It appealed to his puckish wit and his incredibly fleet, leggero fingerwork. I mean, he really could do it magnificently, although the great Clementi disc is on RCA. Okay, what the heck. Then we got Beethoven, the Moonlight, the Waldstein, Clair de Lune. That's the Moonlight. And I had them reversed there. The Moonlight, Clair de Lune, Moonlight, Waldstein, and Appassionata. I mean, his Beethoven is controversial in some respects, and, you know, not as great as some of his later romantic stuff, but it's still, I mean, you know, it is what it is. And then we've got early romantics, Chopin and Schumann, all of which is wonderful. This is what, two discs of stuff, lots and lots of fun. You've got Kreisleriana, which he did very well. And we have, Schubert, the Romantic and Impressionist era, Schubert, Mendelssohn, Liszt, and Debussy. So some of, a Debussy Etude, and Prelude, and some Liszt, Scherzo, and March. Well, that's interesting. The Consolation in E major, and Schubert's Impromptus. There's that. And last but not least, Scriabin and Rachmaninoff. I mean, this is meat and potatoes, Horowitz stuff, right? So this is all wonderful.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas from Sean. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyway, so there we are. A box, a beautiful box of Horowitz. Perfectly done. Yes, they could have maybe put it in a slender box, but you got all the notes in all these volumes. They wouldn't have had notes if they did that and budgetized it. And it's great. It's out of print. It's unavailable. It's disappeared. Now, I go and look on Amazon and various places. Some of these things are available used. They now call them pre-owned. Like it's like you're buying a Lexus. It's pre-owned. Pre-owned generally means somebody owned it, but it's still like almost new. With CDs, it doesn't work quite that way. Used could be in any condition whatsoever, but that's not the point. They have these things pre-owned at every possible price level. And you don't know, looking at Amazon, whether you're getting the box, the complete box, because all the covers are the same, except for the volume indication, or you're getting one of the individual volumes. So you go through the list and you see individual volumes, and sometimes you see the big box, which says it's unavailable. It's a nightmare. It's just a big pain in the ass to try and figure out what you're getting, and there is no guarantee that anything is going to be consistently priced or consistently available, and you don't know who you're getting it from. Because even the big box here, the original jacket edition, it lists itself as still available at a pretty reasonable price, $189, $200 for 70 CDs. That's a great deal. I see it there, still available, but it's not from Sony. It's available from third-party retailers or third-party sellers, some of whom were smart enough to get some quantities of these things and warehouse them and sell them still. So there is a limited quantity of stuff, or Sony dumped them somewhere when they went out of print and someone grabbed them, and so you can find it. So I'm not talking about availability. Fortunately, in the world of classical music, there is usually much more product than there is market for the product. I mean, it's classical music. If they make 6 copies, then they'll probably be sitting on 5. But the fact of the matter is, you can source this stuff from various places, but it's so much work. And you don't know what anything's going to cost. And you don't know if it's ever going to be available. So let's say you want to take your time and savor each volume and get them individually, or you want to wait to decide to get like the whole Megillah there, the whole Gesundta box. You don't know if it's going to be available. You don't know if you're going to be able to find it. You don't know what it's going to cost when you are ready to buy it. You have no time. You have no options. You have no choice. And most importantly, as far as I know, you have no information, because these labels do not talk to consumers. They don't tell us what they're doing with their catalog. We have no idea. One of the great mysteries of the universe is what's going on at Sony with their box sets, because we know everyone's been fired who did those magnificent Cell and Ormandy and whatever boxes, Metropolis, and they were fabulous, beautifully designed, beautifully done, works of art. And now, as far as we know, they're dead in the water. They were going to do a Kusevitsky box. We've been screaming about doing an Arthur Fiedler box. Who knows what's going to happen and how it's going to happen? It may happen, but we don't know. And they're not telling us, and they're not interested in anyone's input. It's like 1984. They're like the Ministry of Love. You have no idea what's doing, except that it's going to be horrible and irritating, and that it's going to require that we do as much work as possible and suffer as much agita and agmas nefesh, as we say in Yiddish. It's just aggravation in trying to get what we're looking for. I mean, and why is that hard? That's the thing. It should be so simple. Vladimir Horowitz, to stick with our example, is one of the most iconic classical music artists who ever lived. His name is known by just about everybody. His recordings have been purchased in aggregate in enormous gobs, huge piles of them. They will always be relevant. They will always be references. They will always be recordings that are talked about and sought after. These people don't have to do any work at all to sell this stuff, except to tell people where to get it. I mean, and price it reasonably. I mean, the basics of selling anything. I mean, you could be selling dog food. They're doing so much better than these companies are at selling something which is infinitely desirable to those who are seeking it. Infinitely. And they don't do a damn thing. It's enough to make you want to scream. Ah! I screamed. You see, it's terrible. Absolutely terrible. And it's only getting worse. It really is, because you have new people there. They don't know what they have. They don't know how valuable it is. They don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to do what they knew. Even if they knew what to do with it, they don't know how to do it. I don't know what they don't know anything. They don't know anything. But if they can't sell Vladimir Horowitz consistently over time, then something is just epically wrong with these people. And that's not just, we could make the list of artists they should be able to sell like this, right? I mean, we know who they are. It's Horowitz and Rubinstein and conductors like Reiner and Munch and Bernstein and Ormandy. They've done boxes. All the work has even been done for them now. All they have to do is nothing. They just have to let people know it exists and sell it and keep it available. Now, I understand there is another issue. There's an issue in terms of economics of scale. They don't want to keep inventory. It costs money to make something, because once you've made it, you've paid for it, your cost, and it's an investment until you sell it. And then it has to sit in a warehouse. And the longer it sits, the more money you've tied up in creating this stuff. And so they're absolutely puzzled about where things are going. They don't want to hold on to inventory. They don't want to put their money into product that they have to sit on, because the whole chain of distribution has vanished. Let's not forget, you have to get everything online now. I mean, record stores practically don't exist in the United States for sure. And in Europe and Asia, well, it's an issue. It's still an issue. It's a little better, but it's an issue. They have record stores here and there. It's still a mess. So they would much rather produce nothing and simply sell digibits over streaming services. But they don't even know how to do that, because if they're going to make the decision that streaming is where it's going, do it. Just go streaming. But you still have to package and sell the product in an attractive and useful way, in a way that people want to buy. And they seem to have no idea how to do that. See, this was a box that worked. It made sense. It should never have been deleted. This is a chunk of the Horowitz legacy that could be sold as such and promoted as such forever. That's all they need to do. And they just won't do it. They can't do it. They don't know how to do it. And I think this example really sums it up rather nicely. We shouldn't have to work so hard to find something to give them money. We're saying to them, here, take our money. And they're saying, screw you. I mean, they treat us with such contempt. It's pitiful. It really is. And it was always a problem. It's always been a problem. But it's only getting worse. And it's disgusting. So that's my bitch fest for 2025. I have no answers. There is no solution. We just have to wait and see what these people do. But, I keep talking about great recordings, and I talk about the fact that they're out of print, and I do a ripe for reissue playlist, and we all scream and yell. I understand we're a small, tiny portion, and these are megacorps selling pop music and Taylor Swift and trying to make billions, and so they don't really care. But, at the end of the day, if it's profit, and it is, you should take it wherever you can get it. I mean, the hypocrisy is that on YouTube, I get a copyright claim if I even talk about something that they claim is copyrighted. One of my videos might earn 7 cents in 10 years, and they want their 2 cents because they'll say, well, every penny matters. Well, if every penny matters, then the dollars that we are willing to shove at them to get the product that we want to get, that should matter too. And they should find a way to facilitate that. That's why they exist. They should just do their damn jobs. I know. Okay. So, there you have it, my friends. BitchFest 2025. I suspect we'll have far more to bitch about in 2026. So, Happy New Year and keep on listening. Take care.